truth. I am a parent myself. I've got a daughter as well. So I know it is more or less based on the parent's choice. So now the platform that we have created and trying to reach to every child and simultaneously every parent, okay, so it's a gift more to a parent than to a child, such that the parents no more should be in a state of insecurity. Children are children, they may grow up, but then for them to actually be stable and come to a decision takes a little more time. Yeah, and parents always feel that my children are always going to be, children, they will never understand, and we try to shelter them. So I'm not blaming them. The only thing, we are trying to be friendly to the parents such that they can be more firm, instead of trying to tell them, oh, do this because I want you to do this. It is also a test for the parents to know if what you're wanting your children to do, is it the right track that they would shine in. They might do certain things because people say that they might be good at, but if we can think it a little in a different way, things are changing, right? After pandemic, we are seeing a new normal. So why not a new normal in a thought process? We, the team, the representatives out here, have not wasted a single second, a single minute of this 6-month-long pandemic. We have constantly been researching. We have constantly been brainstorming and thinking, how can we make the new normal actually the new normal? Okay, and I'm sure after listening to us today and hearing few of the top shots of today's topic for which we are out here, you are going to agree with us that our research and development for all these months behind creating a platform for you, which is basically today our lead sponsors, ECPT under EduGuy. I'm going to talk about EduGuy, what EduGuy is all about, is definitely going to be for your benefit. Yeah, so your time investing out here will definitely give you the right kind of ROI, return on investment. So EduGuy is basically the world's first online artificial intelligence driven educational platform. The word seems to be pretty nice to hear, okay, but what does it actually mean? So we have tried to create a platform where the only investment that you are going to do of mention, besides a small amount which is absolutely can be neglected in compared to what outcome you're going to get, is it is somewhat I do not know if you all have heard or thought of, we are working on your career quotient. Now, what is career quotient? Yeah, again, very nice word to hear about. So we have heard about intelligent quotient. We have heard about emotional quotient. Yeah, today's world is too much dependent on social quotient. Okay, so do we need either of them, or do we need what's your thought process? Think over it after this session. Whatever we have been talking out here, how can you resemble it actually practically to your life at the moment? Yeah, so if we combine all of them, yeah, we are not telling you that you need to be the most intelligent kid of the earth and only then you will get success. No, that's not the right thing. That's not the ultimate truth. Okay, you have to be intelligent. You have to be sovereignly do the same aspect, because we have been hearing about, the entire world news is talking about mental health, people going into depression, people going into trauma. People are being confused. So what is this depression and trauma, and what are these words? Can you see them? Can you touch them? No, you feel it. And what gives birth to this depression? And what do you think? What gives birth to this traumatic situation? It is absolutely when you are not confident about what you have done, what you're doing, and what you are willing to do ahead. And where do you not get when you're not confident enough, you start feeling insecure about your own self. And that is the worst ever thing. Yeah, insecurity, nobody can take it off till the time you start building on yourself. And how do you build on yourself? Only when you are confident about your own identity. So how do you get confident about your own identity? When you know what your strengths are. Now, to all my viewers, let me get a little more deeper into the concept, okay, such that you really can validate what I'm saying. Yeah, liking something and my strength are two different things. Okay, my liking can change. Today I'm liking something, tomorrow I might not like the same thing. It depends on my situations. But if something is my strength, that will not change because I'm good at it. Okay, I might not like what I'm strong at. That will definitely not have an impact on my strength turning to be my weakness. I can work on my weaknesses to turn it to the strength. That's the reason you always should choose your career based on your strength, not based on what you like to do. You cannot have or expect a fixed outcome or an income dependent on a variable. If you understand, if you have fixed components in life, which are your strengths, only then you can decide what is your desired outcome. So today our lead sponsor, ECPT, that we have been talking, I've started with it, yeah, gives you a platform with different formats of questions, your investment of 2 hours. So when you understand, when we are requesting you to invest 2 hours of your time, it's a serious affair. Yeah, it's a question of your life, of your career. It's a serious affair. If we are taking it that seriously, we expect you to take a step forward, hold our hands, and reach to where you actually deserve, not what you just think on your fantasy. Yeah, so that's ECPT. Let's keep it a little of, I told you what is it all for, that you have to invest your 2 hours into it. There are different patterns of questionnaires that you have to answer, that you have to, it's not an exam, it's fun, it's about your presence of mind, it's all about you. So I hold on here for a minute, and let's see today's topic of this career hour is careers in CA. Before I go into the detail of the CA, let's hear it from one of the expert CA with rich experience globally, Mr. Kalyan Sarkar. So if I may please request my tech team to play the AV of Mr. Sarkar.
Hi boys and girls, welcome you for joining in an excellent event EduFair organized by EduGuy for your career option as a chartered accountant. To start with, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Kalyan Sarkar, chartered accountant, having 40 years experience in this profession. Initially, I started my career in one of big firm, Lovelock Lewis, Kolkata, where I worked for 10 years. After that, I started my own profession in the name of Sarkar and Company, Chartered Accountants. It is my great opportunity and privilege to be with you to share my views and experience for your career option. You know, there are several career options in India, such as medical, engineering, cost accounting, company secretary, and MBA. But there are some issues and observations from my side, because medical and engineering seats are limited, so very expensive. You have to go for joint entrance and then get the admission, and it is also expensive. In case of company secretary and costing, scopes are limited due to poor industrialization. In case of MBA, that is the same thing. It is an expensive, and due to lesser number of institutes, admission is very difficult. Whereas for chartered accountant, there is a opportunity for admission as it is open to all. In class 12, after passing class 12, you can go for entrance, and after that you can join in CA firm as an article clerk. Otherwise, if you pass become with average 55% marks, you can directly join in CFR as an article. There are a number of CFRs in India under the guidance and control of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So, as an article, you have to spend 3 years, and for which you will get stipend called articleship allowance that will meet your pocket expense. This is an additional advantage. Another thing, when you going for articleship, at that time, beyond your office hours, you can do for additional qualification. That is also an advantage. So fields for chartered accountant are internal auditing, tax audit, forensic audit, career in accounts and finance, taxation advisor, statutory audit under applicable statute. The demand of chartered accountant is increasing because government is making policies and regulations to monitor the market. So future growth of chartered accountant is huge as comparison to other professional jobs. The rapid growth of money market is increasing the demand of chartered accountant to monitor the fund management. So this is an excellent exposure for a chartered accountant. As a chartered accountant, what you can do after passing chartered accountant, you can join in industry to carry out work as an accountant or finance man. You can start your own profession as audit or taxation, faculty, teaching tutorial, author, project financing, and financial analysis. One thing I forgot to share you about my own career option. In my school life, I was very much influenced by my uncle who was chartered accountant doing service in CSC as chief accountant. From that point of time, I decided to be chartered accountant by any means. So my sincerity and dedication makes me possible, and I have come as a chartered accountant before you. So, in short, chartered accountant is emerging as a good career option for you. Lastly, I thank EduGuy for bringing such a virtual EduFair 3 for next generation. And lastly, I thank to the participants, and I wish for their better, bright future as a chartered accountant. Thank you.
That was quite rich from the expert of the industry. So the more you listen to them, the more you feel, okay, things are happening, things are working, and there is no layback. That was quite rich from Mr. Sarkar, and thank you for being a part of this and contributing with your rich experience and knowledge. Okay, so yes, where I stopped, let me just take it up from there. So I was talking about ECPT, okay? And I said that you have to, I repeat, invest 2 hours of your time. And what does it actually do? What does this 2 hours, what is the outcome of this? Okay, so it is basically, it identifies your career quotient. When I'm repeatedly saying career quotient, that means, by the way, before, where and who has originated it. So along with EduGuy, the technical partner is IBM. As you can see, it's all round, all where. So they have partnered together and come up with this, you can call it a program, because this will ultimately help you to go to the next level, go to the next step. So this ideally testifies your attitude skills, your aptitude skills, and your aspiration skills. I think these are the 3 factors on which you basically get judged depending on what kind of answers you are actually putting in for the questions. It is interesting, you do not know when 2 hours have got past, but ultimately when you're answering, you're not on pressure. You are absolutely free to take your own call. You own that particular, this particular platform, this particular test that ultimately defines a career quotient. There is nobody to tell you, oh, do this and do that, tick here and tick there. No, you know the best yourself. And as per that, you take this test up, and it ultimately, as I repeat, as I was saying, identify the three skills of yours and gives you a three choice of your passions on which you can take up either one as your career. Not only till here. Okay, we don't leave you once that, oh, you're done and you got the options. No, 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 no. We are absolutely a end-to-end, we are gifting you our end-to-end completion program. Now, when I say end-to-end completion program, once these three options has been given to you, we have got the experts in our panel who are really going to counsel you on the options that you have got. You might feel, oh, since I have got three options of my passion, of my strength, then where to go, what to do, which one to choose. Okay, if it is coming like maybe hospitality is one of the passion that you have got, or maybe fashion designing is one of the passion, one of the interest out of the three choices that you have got. Now, hospitality is a vast big world of choices. Okay, when we say hospitality, we mean the hotels, the accommodation verticals, accommodation sectors, the airlines, the hospitals, travel agents, so what not. You have got a lot of variations to pick up from. So to be more precise and help you more specifically, we have our panel who will be constantly there with you. After you clear up your test, you get a result, and we would be there to be guiding you such that you take up the right track and get released, ultimately completing your education with a smile and absolutely no regrets. And I think, what better can a life be of without regret? I do not know all the people who are out here at the moment. If I ask for a vote as to how many of you have a life without a regret, that is quite a debatable topic, and I'm not going to go into it. But yes, ask yourself, have an answer. So when we again get back to EduGuy, the representatives are committing you to 99.99%. There is nothing called 100% certainty or assurance. Okay, then we all will be almighty, start creating creators. Okay, that's not possible. But yes, we are committing you 99.99% of assurance, certainty, and a non-regretful life, to the extent, to the outcome that you are going to get out of this ECPT, your identification of the career quotient. Okay, now you've already heard from Mr. Sarkar as to what is CA, charter accountancy, all about, and which are the different kind of verticals that you may go in. It is no more, it is definitely a very niche potential probability of people going into it. But then I would just quickly highlight a few of the points that Mr. Sarkar is definitely one of the top person globally, who is reaching out to different firms, different people, different tycoons, different bureaucrats, and solving their transactional issues. So when you say chartered accountancy, it has something to do with finance. Okay, now if you ask me or if you ask any of the counselors of a panel, that what is it actually which is required to go for chartered accountancy, so in 12th it doesn't matter much. You may take science, take up science, you may take up arts, you may take up commerce, maybe taking up commerce will give you an extra edge when, if you ultimately want to go for a chartered accountancy career, but taking up science and art will not really hold you back. Okay, so that is the first thing that you need to do. After clearing 10th, you need to register for common efficiency tests. So you have to register for it, but you can only give it after your class 12. Okay, you have to start preparing for it after your 10th. So you have got 3 tests. So first is the common proficiency test that you need to appear. Then the second level is your intermediate level, and the third level is your CA final. So going through all these 3 levels, you ultimately become a CA, a chartered accountant. Okay, so now if you might have a question, fine. I have done my chartered accountancy. I studied well. I followed the protocols and the procedures. What's next? Now, I think that is the most vital question everybody everywhere asks, some out of a trend and a fashion, and some have a genuine concern. What's next? Okay, so yes. Now, different public and private sectors, domestic and international sectors, will definitely have a requirement to hire a chartered accountant. Please understand, girls and boys, everywhere and anywhere and allwhere, wherever, you have got to deal with transactional issues, okay, transactional concepts, cash coming in, coming out, trading is happening, turnovers are to be seen, they need to be protected as well. It's not that easy, that your money is into your company if you do not know to preserve your money, to save your money, and to make money out of money. If you do not know how to roll your money, roll your economy, then it is difficult and you have to think over what's next. Okay, for this reason, to sort out your transactional affairs, you need a chartered accountant to be holding on to your business, to be there by your business. If even it's on a small scale or a large scale, you need a chartered accountant for your firms. Any auditing firm, so if a chartered accountant not necessarily has to be accompanied with a company, he or she can be a freelancer, because every firm that does auditing of money. Oh, I can see Mr. Mehta with a smile, so he is more an expert than me. So I think when I have seen you, Mr. Mehta, may I please request to hand this over to you? I think you would be a better person to speak in this.
Actually, you know what? I was just looking through the people who are here. I believe I see somebody who is probably more proficient than me on this. I see Mr. Das sitting there. Is that Mr. Abhijit Das?
Yes, it was a suspense so far, Mr. Mehta. So I was not wanting to open that up, but then so that's how it is. So we will hold on a more bit, with him. So before that, we go to you, Mr. Mehta and Mr. Das. If I may please request my tech team to play the AV of our lead sponsor, ECPT.
Are you stressed out, indecisive, and confused about your career? ECPT A1 20 Minutes, world's most technologically advanced career predictive test. IBM's AI and deep learning technology will match your skills and aptitude to over 1,400 careers. Get your career tested at ecptonline.com.
Yes, Mr. Mehta, you're absolutely right. Mr. Das is our, and he is the man tonight. So we are going to get him out very soon. But before that, we have got another video of ECPT to be coming up on the screen, and I think we shouldn't miss that out. So if my tech team, oh, yes, it's there. Excellent, quite interesting and quite vibrant. So now, since Mr. Das has already been revealed, so I would not waste much of time and just talk a little about him, though he's a very, very known person. Me talking is not enough to define him, but I will still quickly give a gist of what and who he is. Yeah, so he is presently the Group General Manager for Finance and Business Operations at International Institute of Hotel Management. He has worked on different portfolios and profiles all over quite a decades span of his experience into this chartered accountancy. So he worked as a senior financial consultant, analyst, tax consultant with reputed firms like the Builder Group and the Unit Finance Head. So yes, today he is here. He would just quickly maybe Mr. Mehta, you can always maybe be there by him. So both of you, he's definitely a very senior person, but I see you nothing less than anyone out here. Yeah, and we have already started getting few questions. If I may please request Mr. Das to just share a few words, and then maybe if you allow us, I will be putting some questions for you, which is already there in my account.
Yes, yes, yes.
Over to you, Mr. Das.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. And all the very best, to the students who are watching this program. So to coming to the point, to the chartered accountancy, I think a number of students has aspiration to become a chartered accountant uh, in future, and those who are studying in plus 12 in commerce, who opted for commerce, or even though not only commerce, those who have opted for science, or those who are studying the economics, statistics, mathematics, this kind of combination, or those who are doing the pure science but is a knack for mathematics. They can definitely opt for chartered accountancy as a career option. And this is I would say one of the best career option that we have. It's engineering, medical, law, and chartered accountancy. This four is we call the pillar of the basic qualification, professional qualification. So chartered accountancy is one of them. Though it is the name is in accountancy, but it is more than accountancy, much more than accountancy. Here we do the financial planning, analysis, tax planning, budgeting, corporate finance, financial control, number of things, you name it. The whatever the company runs in, the company that runs in a different areas of function, which include the these are the functions that I have just told. So other including the company law and the presenting to the other institution in the financial matter. So these are the areas where the chartered accountants work. And other than the normal auditing and the basic accounting kind of function, which is the basic 40 of the chartered accountant. But nowadays the scope is huge, huge area the chartered accountants covered. That I am just saying. Even you see the chartered accountant working in the stock market as an equity research analyst, or you will see in an investment banking company, the chartered accountants are handling the portfolio of big number of the clients, which with a big high net worth people. So the career opportunity as a chartered accountant, I would say it's a first you need to enroll as a in the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India through foundation course. You have to pass a foundation course, and thereafter there is the intermediate and there is the final. Now it is named as a different way. When we taught actually chartered accountancy, it was known as intermediate and final, but then it was now changed CP 1, 2, and then the final. So these are the thing, and in between you have to do your articleship training. That is a on the job training to any you have to be associated with a firm of chartered accountants where you will get the on the job training for a period of 3 years time. So the course is made in such a way the student gets an opportunity to work with on practical as well as theoretical area. Theoretical in the theory you have to pass the intermediate and final exams. There are 16 papers, so you have to pass out these papers, and the percentage of passing is I would say compared to the other professional exam, where it is, I would say, this is my experience, and it is the experience of all the chartered accountants also, that getting into the chartered accountant is more easier than to passing the CA is, it's a difficult, because the number of percentage of passing is less in the sense that it is uh, within the 10 to 12% the final, and in the intermediate it is again 7 to 8%. So that is the one of the area which the students need to look for before enrolling to the chartered accountancy, because the pass percentage is really low, because the institute has a very high standards in the corporate world. So they want that the students who would be passing the CA, that is as per the market requirement and market demand, and as per the requirement of the industry. So that's why maybe they have made it a bit tougher compared to the other profession, in the sense of passing the exam. And so you need to be very thorough, I would say, on when you take a course of CA, because the courses you need to study here, it's a gamut of accounting, taxation, direct and indirect taxation, law, corporate law and commercial law, auditing, and the number of subjects which include the financial management and the management accounting kind of subjects. So you need to be very thorough in your approach to pass a course like CA, because the questions comes here is covering all the part of the syllabus, and number of time it has shown that the questions are repeated. Okay, so it's not that any chapter or any subject of study you leave, because for the exam, for the pass of passing of the examination, you just leave certain but that will not work actually. You need to cover each and every part of the syllabus that you have. So that is the crux, and you need to be thorough with all your the subject matters. Then only you can pass the chartered accountancies, because you need to have a very solid knowledge on the subject that is being taught here. So that is in nutshell in my I'm just discussing with all the areas, all the pros and cons of the subject of study. And after doing the CA, there are the opening are huge in the sense that in the corporate world, either you can do your own practice as a CA, you can join in a CA firm. There are a number of CA firms in India, and also the foreign CA firms where you can do your you can get a job. And also the whole corporate sector is there, where there's a huge number of CAs are in demand and in requirement, and every year number of CAs are recruited across industries. Also outside Indian CAs has another niche over the other CAs is that there's a huge demand in outside India. I mean, all the Middle East countries, Australia, New Zealand, all the European countries. You can work because the CA qualification is considered at par with the CPA, which is, you must be knowing CPA, which is Certified Public Accountant qualification of a USA, or a CMA qualification of UK, or the CA qualification of the Institute of Chartered Accountant of England and Wales. So it is considered at par with the other countries. So outside India, there is a huge scope. You can go to the any country of your choice. Number of maybe certain you need to gain experience, some amount of experience, 4 to 5 years of experience, that is a demand. But even though we have seen that after passing the CAs, number of CAs has been recruited in the Middle East and African countries. So the scope is huge. The scope is that across the globe, this qualification is recognized. So in nutshell, it is this is my submission to the aspiring students who are interested for the studying the chartered accountancy as a career option.
That was quite informative, Mr. Das. But I would take some more of your time, because it is the question of the career of this generation, and their questions I feel needs to be answered at the moment. Okay, so I have got a student with me who is already doing a CA, just started off and not being very satisfied with the choice, and that's where ECPT comes into the picture. I'm sorry, we have not got in touch with you before, or you have not known us before, yeah, or else we are always committing a non-regretful life in terms of your career. So yes, Mr. Das, the question is, when they go for an internship to a firm, how important it is, or how does it matter if it is a small scale firm or it is one of the renowned of the country? Does that really matter as to what and how you get trained? I am just keeping the questions straight to you without judging the questions. So over to you, Mr. Das.
Yes, yes. This is one of the thing that comes to the in the mind of the students, that when they go for an internship with a smaller firm or a bigger firm, because the bigger firm, their requirement is quite different than the smaller firm. In the bigger firm, they ask for more of a better better qualified in the sense the percentage of marks you have got in the graduation or in your school exam or higher secondary exam. So that is one of the filter point. But other than this, I don't see whether you are working in a smaller firm or in a bigger firm. Definitely in a bigger firm, your exposure happens with a more big corporate houses, because all the big corporates have either they recruit the big four, what we call big four or big five, like PwC, EY, KPMG, this kind of firms. But then again, I would say, if it is a smaller firm, if anyone gets a chance to work in a smaller firm, there is a lot of opportunity where rather I would say in the smaller firm, the scope of learning is more than in the bigger firm, because in the bigger firm they will put you in certain area, and over a period of 3 years time, you need to spend your time in that area only. But whereas in a smaller firm, maybe you be putting in auditing, there you are working in the taxation, then you working in the corporate law, and so number of areas are there in the smaller firm where you work over a period of 3 years time. Whereas in a bigger firm, it is the scope, as it's a bigger firm, and you will be working with the big corporate, so you need to be very specific in the areas. Maybe where you are giving a auditing, you have to do the auditing, or you have been doing a direct tax, you have to do the direct tax, or you're given an indirect tax, you have to bring the indirect tax over a period of 3 years. So these are the pros and cons. I'm not saying that it's always good in a scenario. The student, if he gets in a bigger firm, definitely he can go. But in a smaller firm also, the scope is huge, and the learning opportunity is huge. At the same time, I would say, I mean, in the bigger firm, number of days, the holidays and all, and as the you need to work with the huge work pressure. So it has been seen that the students who are in the smaller firm, they get more time for learning. I mean, their studying time is more. So in that way, it is an advantage in the smaller firm also, because they can get a more time for their study, and it is become easier for them to clear the exam more early. It has been seen, but it is not the only thing which the students should consider. It's a choice on the students. If you get a chance to work with a bigger firm, you can go to the bigger firm. If you get a chance to the smaller firm, you can still work to the smaller firm, and then learn a lot of things, and he can become a chartered accountant, and even after that also he can join in a bigger firm after passing, and here the opportunity is more.
Okay.
So that is the scenario.
Perfect, perfect, sir. So here my next question goes that after completing CA, you are already the king of the vertical. So is it required to do a specialization, more certification course in terms of a particular vertical, like auditing or taxation? Does that really give you an edge, an extra edge in the career?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because once you are working, or suppose a particular function you have chosen, because the now the CAs has a number of, after being qualified as a CA, either you can do the auditing or corporate finance or direct tax, indirect tax, or corporate law. You can do a number of specialization. And also there are a number of courses, post qualification courses done by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India after your CA, where you can enroll after CA, and to do that like equity research and forex management, like foreign exchange management, like diploma in fraud and forensic audit, like DISA, a diploma in information system audit. So number of post qualification courses institute conducts, and there are exam also for this. It's not that it's only study. There are exam also. You need to pass that exam, and then you need to acquire that qualification. So it is a very good idea for the students who are specializing, who have thought that I will be doing this either auditing or taxation, whatever the function that he choose, that he likes. So he can go and he can do a specialized. It's a very good idea, because more and more you will be doing the post qualification study. It will give a lot of confidence, because this line, this chartered accountancy line is ever changing. It's ever changing, as you know that every year there is a budget, every year there is an economic policy. So number of things is changing on day-to-day basis. So you need to adapt yourself with the changing scenario. So it is always a better a good idea to adapt yourself with the changing scenario.
Right, right. Very true, sir. Very true. So we have got one question in our chat box, and the boy asks rather, what is the initial starting salary for a CA?
It depends. It depends. But for a CA who has passed out within 2 to 3 times, not more than 2, not more than 2 attempts, or first attempt or second attempt maximum, they are getting now salary of not less than 40,000. It's per month. I mean 4.8 lakhs. But it varies. Even it increases as far as, suppose a CA who has passed out in a first attempt, definitely it gives a advantage to the others, and he definitely gets more salary. But the minimum salary is 4.8 lakhs now.
Quite impressive, sir. Not bad. Okay,
yeah,
rather too good. Quite impressive. Okay,
yeah.
so
But that can increase to that's what I'm saying, because in a good corporate it pays to 80,000 to 1 lakh per month also. So it depends from the corporate to corporate and industry to industry also. But the basic area that I just mentioned. But in the higher side, you can expect on a monthly 1.5 lakh per month also for a newly passed out CA.
Okay. Okay. Quite good. Okay, so my next question here goes to, I mean, it asks, I want to open my own business. I want to become a businessman because I come from a business family, but I want to do my CA too. And my father says, oh, it is of no use if ultimately you have to get into my business. So what do you have to say? So it's a direct question to you, sir. What do you have to say in this?
Absolutely a great idea. Absolutely a great idea. If a student thinks that he will be in the business and before that he do CA, it's a great combination. It's a great combination. because he knows the inside out of the business. Once you become a CA, you know the inside out of the business. It is required because of the your basic basic qualification as a CA will help you a lot. Will help you a lot in the areas of financial planning, analysis, cash flow management, budgeting, banking, fund management, all the corporate taxes, all the corporate laws. You will get a huge opportunity to learn different areas, and that will be actually applied in your business. So a person who is a, say I'm taking a businessman's son, like I can give example of Kumar Mangalam Birla, who is a CA, who is a CA and who did the CA, and after doing the CA, he is managing the Aditya Birla Group. There are a number of person I can give an example. Even our company's our chairman, Dr. Bose, Dr. Subarno Bose, he himself is a chartered accountant and he is managing a huge business. So you can understand that being a CA and after that you are doing the business, it makes a lot of difference. It makes a lot of difference. Your basic qualification in the finance will give you an edge over the others.
Very true, sir. So now, again, a very direct question. What are the top CA colleges in India that you recommend?
Here, actually, there is no colleges. I mean, that I want to mention. The CA Institute was made, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is the only one institute which was made in the year 1949 under a special act in the past in the parliament. So it is the only institute in India who conducts the CA course, who gives the CA qualification to the students after passing their exam. So there is no other colleges where you can, be CA is taught. You can do, you have to enroll in the institute and then you have to study. You have to study. You can take different tuitions. You can take different tuitions from the different, renowned persons who are there in the institute. There are, classes happens in the institute. Institute conduct classes on regular basis. You can attend those classes also, and you can do your self study also. So there is a three combination. One is a self study, one is a classes conducted by the institute, and the third is that you go to a to renowned student CAs who who take tuitions in different subjects. So in that way you can gain knowledge, you can gather knowledge, and you can appear for the examination. So there is no other specific college from where you can you can do the study, or you can get the qualification. It's not like that, because the institute is the only institute. There is no other institute in the name of CA in India. So it is the only one institute who's headquartered in New Delhi, and they have all the regional office across India. There are more than, I think, 32 regional offices now. So you can enroll, you can go to the in which region you are stationed at. You can go to the any region and you can enroll, and you can get all the study material, or whatever problem you face. You can go to the regional institute and you can talk with the officials over there.
Excellent. That's pretty again quite informative, sir. So now it is said that a CA never retires. Yeah. So this girl asks, how do you validate this statement?
Yes. Absolutely, absolutely. Because so long as you are in a working capacity, you can work. As I said earlier, when you can start your own practice as a CA, you can work in a company as a CA, or you can even do your own business as a CA. So the question of retirement doesn't come unless you wish to retire. So that is the concept. Yes, it's absolutely true.
I think that's quite encouraging. Quite encouraging,
Yeah.
Mr. Das. So who will not want to earn till the last day? So that's
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
how it is.
CA has that opportunity that you earn till your last day. I mean,
That's the
till
valuation
you,
of.
I would not say last day. I would say, I mean, till you wish to earn.
I take it. I give it to you this time, Mr. Das. You're right. Okay, so now I have got one more question out here for you. So looks the topic to be quite interesting. Now this person says, referring to what I was talking before, and I think you've heard that pretty, quite concentrating on. So I was saying it is a serious affair. It's not fun. Yeah, see a chartered accountancy. So he says if it's a serious affair and we are going for a training, and it is quite a sensitive core for any organization, especially quite confidentiality matters out here. So the trainees might not be given that much of exposure to be actually working, on hand working. We call it on hand working. So what is that for a trainee that they need to have their check tick marks, they need to absorb during their training? Any specific points that you would want to mention that during the training you need to learn this?
Yes, see, during the training, yeah, you are taught in the different areas, as I said, depending upon the size of the farm, and the clients the particular farm is handling. So, as I said, I mean, the number of functions you are accustomed with. Maybe it's a accounting, it's auditing function, the taxation function that include the direct taxes and indirect taxes, the law function, corporate law function, which is another area which is very interesting. So the different areas, if you're the firm where you are doing the training, you will if the firm has the work in that area, if the firm is doing in that area, you have a every chance to learn these other things. Now it may so happen that maybe you have been given a certain function like say auditing, or accounting and bookkeeping, or taxation, and maybe the firm wants that you spend certain period of time, say 6 months to 1 year in that, and you get enough knowledge to switch to the other function. So that can happen, but nevertheless, I mean, during that the period of time, you can utilize your full the knowledge that you gather. I mean, whatever knowledge come, you get the opportunity to gather, so that you gather. So that's very important. That's very important for a CS student.
Okay, so I have one more question for the evening, sir. The rest of the questions, the questions are pouring off. So what am I going to do? If you allow me, I would be emailing you, but I would take the last question for the evening, and if request you to please revert, and so that
Absolutely,
we can
you can
students.
email me that
Yes,
if any questions are there, I would be happy
absolutely.
to reply to them privately. I will
So we'll have the last question for the evening, Mr. Das. What is the difference between CA and CS?
Yes, the basic difference is that these two are different institute. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, as I said, it's an institute established in 1949, and Institute of Company Secretary it established in the year 1980. They are two different institutes, and their purpose is also different. Institute of Chartered Accountants of India's purpose, as I mentioned in my discussion, uh, it's an authority in the area of audit, accounts, finance, taxation, commercial, all other functions. I mean, any balance sheet or any financial has to be signed as per the Companies Act by a chartered accountant. Whereas in company secretary is a function which required as per the Companies Act. There are certain turnover has been mentioned in within that turnover, you need to appoint a company secretary who will certify the secretarial compliance of the company. So it is the secretarial compliance, secretarial part, which is looked after by the company secretary. So the scope of a company secretary is basically in the secretarial matter, company secretarial matter, which is basically evolves through the company law and its compliance, which is applicable for a company. For a company, which may be it's a private limited company, public limited company, or a government company. So every company needs to appoint a chartered company secretary with certain turnover limit has been mentioned therein, that you need to have a company secretary who will certify the compliance part of the company, whether it been complied or not. So that is the function of a company secretary. Whereas chartered accountant's function, as I already mentioned, it's they are the auditor, and they have a multifarious function. Okay. So both the institute is formed by the statute, the special act of parliament, and they are the independent body who are administered by a group of professionals with their there is an election happens every year, every I think 4 years. So and there is a separate body comes, and that body actually professional body manages the institute function.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Das, for your time, your patience, and your continuous contribution both towards the industry and our aspiring learners. And we would be lucky, fortunate to have you more and more in the forum, such that encourage and train the aspirants, as I mentioned. Okay, so now unfortunately, every show has to come towards an end, and we are rolling on the stage. So before I bid a goodbye and say good night, I would want to tell you that this event, this show is going to continue. We are going to have this career shows 5 days a week, same time, same place, with different stalwarts and experts from all over the world. So as you can rightly see that today we had discussion on the career of a CA, what you need to do to become a CA. Tomorrow, led by career, if you want to build up, if you want to become a wedding planner, very, very interesting, and exciting too. So stay tuned with us. I'm going to tell you what we have in Ford. We would have a talk on, again, this coming in and talking on the career in nursing, followed by law on 5th of November. 6th of November, we have got a talk on career in event management careers in Bollywood, travel and tourism, followed by the last day of the week, 7th November, on data science. Yeah, these are very interesting, exciting, and I'm sure there is lots to offer on this forum, on this platform. Stay tuned with us. And now, before winding up, and as I said, before bidding a goodbye, I would request my tech team to please show on the screen the information. How do you need to go to www.ecptonline.com and register yourself, get the offer of the time of the festive offer, get into the portal, and you will have lots of surprise. Take the right decision. It's your life, your choice. Choose the right one. And as of now, good night. We are all signing off from Career Show of 2nd November 2020, and see you all safe, healthy, absolutely excited, strong again tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a safe life and a safe.